Hey guys. Now I gotta figure out how to turn off my coming soon. Let's see. There we are. Oh gosh. Hey guys. Now I gotta figure out how to turn off my coming soon. Let's see. Okay, I think I got it off now. There we are. Oh gosh, maybe. Hey guys. Now I gotta figure out how to turn off. Okay. Let's just take that off. Hi. All right. If you guys could let me know in the comments that you don't hear the music anymore as I'm asking you this. This is the first time I've done the OBS software through YouTube, so I want to make sure I'm not screwing up. And I know there's going to be a little bit of a delay, which is fine. Okay, good. Elizabeth doesn't hear it. Hi, everybody. Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Moongold. Hi, Jasmine. Hi, Meg. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Shannon. Hi, Elizabeth. How is everybody? Okay, good. Good. I wanted to put like a little thing in the beginning so that you guys know it was coming soon and you weren't going, why isn't she here yet? Or if I was delayed for some reason, at least you knew I would be there as soon as possible. You know, kind of emergency. Hey, Macy. How are you? Awesome. 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 I like this on YouTube. I like the little chat on the right. It's kind of nice. Kind of nice. Kind of nice. So how's everybody doing today? Hi, Danielle. How are you? I'm so excited. This is so much fun. Okay, why don't you guys go ahead and pop in. Hey, Dax. How are you? Hi, Saskia. I hope I'm saying that right. Why don't you guys pop in the comments and let me know where you all are from. I would love to see where everybody's from. I think that would be cool. And while you're doing that, I'm just going to clean up my iPad. And for people who didn't get into my Facebook live stream last time, they don't know, they may not have seen me that I just use this cheap screen cleaner from like Best Buy. I think I bought it from there, and a little microfiber cloth. Charlotte, Switzerland, holy cow. Alabama. All right, Dax, awesome. Germany, New York, Nebraska, Tennessee, Texas, Louisville, Nashville. Boy, you guys are from all over. Netherlands is in the middle of the night. Okay, now I feel really special. I hope I don't screw anything up that you woke up to do this. Oh, we have Mexico. What part of Mexico, Sam? Murfreesboro. Hey, Ella, guess what? I have family that lives in Murfreesboro. My uncle and his wife live there. Barbados. Wow. Okay, and now I need to go on a vacation. You guys are making me need to go on a vacay. Really, really bad. That's so funny. Okay. Lexington. Oh, you just stay up this late. Okay, good. I don't feel so bad. Mexico. I went to Los Cabos, like everybody else from America, and it was so awesome. I loved it there. It was amazing. New Zealand. Wow. Okay, this makes me feel really excited. I'm so excited. Everybody's from so many places. This is so cool. This is really, really cool. I want to give everybody a chance to come in, so I'll start about 6:05. So it's 6:03 now here in Colorado. So I'm just going to give it a chance to kind of ring up, but we'll just chat and I'll just see what everybody's saying. So how many of you have gone through the course, the full course, like you've gone through all of the videos? And you're like, yeah. And I have to say this, when I look at Instagram from when we started the challenge, the 1st of January till now, I am so just in love with how much growth you guys have been through. It's amazing. It's just so cool to see. So it's like, I can't wait to see how some of you go from January till the end of the year. So not everybody's done yet, okay? Some people are. Gail, yes, Miss Gail. Good. Exciting. I am too excited. I can't wait to see February's, because I was like, I want to do something kind of fun and different that we haven't done, that I don't see too much of, although some people really are pretty clever with their challenge names. So I'm kind of excited to see what everybody's doing for February. I want to see all of your little doodles and stuff. I think the puns are pretty funny. You're streaming. Oh my God, that big, Dax? I'm scared. Everything but converting to Illustrator. There are other software packages out there. Unfortunately, I just don't know them as well. And the only reason is I've been using Illustrator since almost its inception. So like 2.0, I've been using it back. That's showing my age, but I've been using Illustrator for so long to draw and use it for all of the vectoring purposes. So it's just kind of my second nature, and to bring something else in, it's not something that I feel like I really have the time to kind of like learn a different package. But I think I'm really open to some of other people who may become very well versed in it, who want to contribute to the course for me as a part of it. Certainly reach out to me and we can talk about other software packages like Inkscape or one of those. And if that's something that you guys want and somebody reaches out to me and I think it's going to be quality enough, then maybe we'll bring that in as a part to, or I can refer to it or something like that. I cannot master image trace, so I feel like it looks like it was yeah. So image trace is not perfect, and I don't know that it ever will be. So Elizabeth's asking if I went to art school. No, I did not, but I studied graphic design in school. So, okay, let me explain. In high school, I never took art. I never took art. I never took any of that stuff. I did take drafting, and that's not really the same, I don't think. But then when I went to college, I studied photography and graphic design through a program called Print Management at Georgia Southern University in Statesboro, Georgia. And there I learned traditional printing. This is when we still used printing plates, and we had to develop our film, So it was on that cusp of, okay, we had computers and we were just starting. I think we had Macs when they were like, in college I had them when they were like the black and white screen. So it was still pretty basic. So, and then I ended up moving from Georgia to Missouri, and I went to a trade school and studied graphic design for a year there. So I've just been doing that. It's kind of what I've been up to. Yeah, Gail, I agree. Inkscape is free, and if I can get somebody who might want to contribute to that, as far as teaching how to vector with it and make it part of the course, that I can talk to them, certainly somebody reach out to me. I'd love to talk to them about that. So Dax, Illustrator is about getting a good base of it. Yeah, I end up cleaning up everything anyway. It's not, I don't have the patience for vectoring too much, so I am very picky and just kind of do my own little thing with it. Yeah, so Dax, you're like me, 20 years pretty much. You probably remember when Photoshop was pretty basic. I can remember, I think to myself now, gosh, how did we get by back then? But we really did. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I am hoping you guys can see okay. Let me make sure I'm in the screen fairly well here. Like I said, there is a delay. And I was able to fix the focus on my webcam so that it didn't do that weird where it kind of goes in and out like it did on Facebook for the live last week. So I'm happy about that. That makes me happy. All right, so let's see. I had some questions from you guys. Diskettes, and we had those, and we had zip drive discs, and then we had the Jazz drives. Remember those? I have some of those. When I moved to Colorado, I found them. I wonder what's on them. I think like one held maybe 50 megabytes, and you're like, well, nowadays that wouldn't hold anything. So let me pull up the notes here that I have from you guys. And no, we still don't have a baby yet. My sister-in-law was due on Wednesday last week, and so she is due to be induced tomorrow. So I'm happy to say that we still don't have one, but I'm happy to say she's still doing okay. I know I mentioned that to you guys in the Facebook group. So all right, so let me just go over some of the questions here first, and then if there's some time at the end, I'll stick around. We can maybe answer some of those and go through it from there. I really don't have a plan for these live streams yet until maybe we've been doing them a couple of weeks and everybody's gone through the course. And then if you guys feel like, okay, it's getting boring now, I know all this, we can maybe do more like projects together or something like that. So certainly give me ideas and all that stuff. So we'll see. Yeah, we hope she goes in at 4, I think she goes in at 4 o'clock tomorrow. So she's still got the whole day tomorrow pretty much to wait around for my niece to come into the world. Okay, so let me just quickly say, you guys have been amazing, and all of the support through purchasing the workbook has been really, really cool. I knew I wanted to do the course for free, but I really wanted to also kind of make it worth my while at the same time, and that's where the workbook and the practice guides came in. And if you caught my Facebook live stream last week, you know that I am working on some updates to that. It's not like a high priority right this minute, but it is happening slowly. So I am working on some updates, and if you've purchased it, you'll be able to still get those new ones. When it's updated, it'll go out in an email or in the Facebook group if you're a member there. So, and there'll be a couple of additions to it that I did show in that video that might be helpful. But also some people have talked to me, and if you're in here and you're still having problems opening the practice guides, like you're finding that you save them to Dropbox and they are grayed out and won't open. So I don't have like a perfect solution for you. However, I think it is more of a syncing issue. Like it's not syncing to the iPad app. And aside from saying, restart everything, I don't really have an answer for that. But I did find a link on the Dropbox page that is just a bunch of things you can possibly do to maybe resolve that. And I will put that in, it's a really long link. Let me think how I want to do that. I think I'll, at the end, remind me if you're still looking for it, and I'll put it in the Facebook group too. I'll put the link to that on Dropbox that I found. Just some different things you might want to try, especially if you're sharing your iPad and your computer Dropbox, your computer maybe, or maybe you're sharing your computer and you have different logins, and your iPad is, obviously you can't do different logins on the iPad, then it could be something to do with that. So that's out there. Wanted you guys to know that. And I did get asked a few times from people how I letter, how I work on my lettering. So when I do like this, where I have, this is not usually my filming camera. For my filming, I have a Canon that I use for that. But when it's down like this and I have to be back, it's a lot harder for me to letter. And so when I am traditionally lettering, I am usually like really hunched over, like really hunched over, and to get the letters just, right. But I do a lot on my couch and have it up like this at me. I always say that when you're first starting out and you're doing drills, sitting at a table is probably going to be a little bit more beneficial to you. You're going to get more control over, your lettering when you're writing, I think. And then as you get better, you're going to certainly find that you can sit differently in different ways. But when you're sitting at the table and you're working this way, you're going to get your stuff a lot cleaner, I think, and you'll have a little bit more control. Because as you find as I'm writing, it's really slow, it's very methodical, there's a lot of lifting of the pen and so forth to get the letters kind of just right. So, Sam, hi Sam. We are doing brush lettering on the iPad Pro. So Shannon says, do I ever start with a sketch? So do you mean like, do I ever just take something I've done on a piece of paper first and then bring it in here? Because I used to do that before I had the iPad. I actually would sketch, scan, and bring it into Illustrator and draw my Wacom Teak. But now I sketch directly in here. And I'll show you some of that here at the end if you're interested. I'll go through some of that with you guys as well. Okay, so let's see. The first major question that came up was from Ray, R-A-E, Ray. Are you here, Ray? I don't know if you're here. Hopefully you are. Okay, Ray. So Ray says, I would love a little advice on connecting script and non-script capital O. So I have a lot of trouble getting the edges to meet up nicely. She feels it's definitely worse when she uses a mono brush, and sometimes the pressure sensitive ones can be a little bit hard as well. Okay, so let me just do something really quick. So you guys know this past week, if you're in the Facebook group, which I haven't announced it out to the world yet. So if you're not in the Facebook group, you don't know this, I launched a new set of grid brushes, and the grids give me the opportunity to just stamp a grid. And I don't know if you guys can see that in the screen very well. I'll zoom in, but I can stamp a grid into my canvas, which helps me with lettering and lining up things without having to import something. It's 4 grids. It's also a Procreate file with the grids and layers, and then JPEGs of the grids. If you're interested, those are in my shop. It's not gone out in an email yet, but that does help me get things lined up. So with the letter O, hey, Erin. Nope, you haven't missed much yet. We've just been chit-chatting. And it'll all be recorded. So, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure I've got my Durango brush. That's what we were using in the course, so that's what I'm going to use today. I am working on some new ones. I can't wait. This should be launching pretty soon. All right, so let me just see. Okay, get my pressure right. There was another thing somebody asked tonight in the Facebook group. I hope I don't forget this because I didn't have it written down. It was after I had my notes together. All right, so what size canvas are you using? Okay, so let me just tell you. Let's see. Let's go to, I can't know if I can remember how you tell. Canvas information. So I am using okay, this is the standard screen one that's already preset in here. If you're using a pretty low res, this is 132 DPI, and this is the, let's see, pixels are 2732 and 2048. So I can imagine if it's a really low res that you might get some pixelization. And of course, maybe, I don't know what brush it is, but if you go really big, I don't know that the brush is going to get real big either. I don't know. I'm going to have to try some. I'm going to experiment here in a second. So let's just do the letter O. So first off with the lowercase o, when we're doing it, I usually start about midway at the top of the line here, and I come around. Now you can form just an O together. My style more or less is where I like to do like this. And so if you're having problems with connecting a capital O when you're drawing it like that, you're probably going to get like this where it's not really connecting too well. So don't be afraid to go like this. Well, there's one thing I mentioned in the Facebook Live video last week, in the group video that we do, was that as I'm lettering, I find that there are certain letters I hate doing and that don't come out the way I want them to come out, and I improvise and I think of new ways to do that. And that's how, like, you guys see my quotes. I do a lot of quotes with a capital E, and that's because I hate doing a cursive E, and I hate doing an E like this. I don't know why. It's something, my brain is just not there, and so I just said, screw it, I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. So as you get better with your lettering style and your script lettering and kind of understanding how everything is formed and how to write them, change them. Change how you're doing certain letters, because that's what kind of helps you build your style and your character and your lettering. Let's bring my size down a little bit. So, okay, so if I were to go, let me just start from the beginning and I'll show you the canvas size I'm doing. And yes, I did just film a video of what's in my Procreate. I'm going to post that next Monday, I think. So I don't know. It seems boring to me, but everybody wanted to know what do I got in here? And yeah, I talked about what's in my iPad and what's in my Procreate. So okay, so for what I'm doing here, I'm just hitting this. I'm just doing the screen size that comes with this. Now, if I do Instagram, I have one set up for 5,000 by 5,000 pixels. I want my canvas to be big and everything to just be bigger, so that if I decide I want to take that and do something with it, I have a little bit better quality to work with than say a really low res one. Lowercase r's are the worst. So Ella, save that. I'll do some for you. All right, so there's the screen size. So I just did screen size, and my Durango brush is at about a 12%. So let me just go in and stamp my grid again. This is the grid italic. And then I'm just going to go ahead and do a new one and do my Durango brush. Well, you guys, I have so many brushes in here because I just filmed so many brush lettering reviews for Procreate brushes lately. Oh, I have so many. It's getting out of control. I need to like get rid of my non-favorite ones. Even if I recommend them, there's some I still won't keep. But. All right, so the way the grid I've got it set up is you've got that middle line there for your X height. So this is the italic grid. This is the one that lets you write in a more script way. Hi, Write for Brain Hire. Okay, so for the O's, oops. If you're trying to connect them, you may have problems because it takes a lot of like control and patience. So I just kind of like to go around as I'm doing mine. You know, creating them like that. And I say the same with the capital O. This is probably a little bigger. Let me go to, my brush size shrink. Let's go to 15. That's a little big. 13. Still a little big, but that's okay. So let's write Oliver. Oliver is a name. So thank you for the, yeah, I love doing brush reviews. I haven't done them on Etsy, and the only reason why is I'm not set up for an affiliate link with Etsy. And the only way you can justify continuing to buy brushes every week is when people buy them through my affiliate link, because it gets expensive, and so I have to justify them. And that's why I've kind of stuck with Creative Market, just because of that reason. That's the only reason. I know you can become an Etsy affiliate, but I haven't really gotten into that yet and how to do all that. So that's the only reason why I haven't done Etsy yet. I know there are brushes there. I just done them through Creative Market. All right, so let's go ahead and write Oliver. So I would probably write it with, that's a little big though. I would probably do something like that. Okay, I'm going to do the lowercase e. And then come in and write my tittle. Yes, that's a tittle. We found that out in the Facebook group. I forgot. I knew that from graphic design, but you know, we forget. I don't know how I forgot that. So as I'm writing, there's nothing wrong with making your O look like the lowercase o would make it bigger. And then just taking your time as you're writing everything. So how do I set straight letters? Am I streamline turned way up? So streamline is a preference. So in this one for Durango, I do have it maxed out. Not everybody likes that. Everybody wants theirs to be different, and that is perfectly fine. Set it to what you're comfortable with. I am old. I have been doing so much with my hands through my life, through my 45 years of life, that I do have a shaky hand now. I don't even do well with traditional pens anymore. So the streamline does help me a little bit. So certainly do what's most comfortable for you. So let's see, what's another name with an O we can write? Olive. So let me hold on. Let's see if we can do this. So something like that. So Ray, if you're here, definitely start working on those O's. Make them how you want to make them, okay? Make them so that they work for you, your style. Let's see. Okay, so V's. So capital V's, lowercase V's. So V's and R's. Okay, I need to write this down. I knew I should have got a pen and paper. Okay, let me see if I can add it to the end of my notes. So we're going to talk about V's and R's. V and R. And I'll do more later for more, if we're going to get into those. Hi, Olivia. I bet you have mastered it. Okay, let's go on to the next one really quickly here and see. All right, so Alice asks, I just bought an Apple Pencil and I'm ready to start hand lettering, but I have a question. I'm left-handed. Will this have any bearing on my ability to letter, especially script? So I'm not left-handed, so I don't really have a lot of advice there, but there are some lefties in our Facebook group. And so Alice, if you're here, I would post in there and ask some people what they've done and to show you some of their work and let you connect with them. I know a lot of people, let's see, oh, is she here? Who, Michelle? Okay, Michelle's left-handed. There's somebody else, I can't remember who it was, it is left-handed, and I've watched them recently letter in, I think maybe it was Instagram, and it's beautiful. So it's possible that you could certainly do it. So I think it's just, I mean, it's natural to you to write with your left hand, so I don't think you'll have any issues with it. So hopefully. All right, so Shannon, I think you're here. Shannon, is it Vinegar Foster? I can't remember how you say this. So she's watched all the videos, and she says she's been struggling with the wreaths and that sort of thing. So the other day I did a Procreate brush. Oh yes, the flip controls. You're right. Hold on, before I go to that. So if you go into, you guys can see that because my screen is there. If you go into the tools, okay, and preferences, you can change right hand preference by clicking here, and it'll move this bar over here. So as you're lettering, you can do what you need to do over here. Does that make sense? And I do have I wonder if the light version might work better for you guys, because you might be able to see this better on the screen. I'll turn it light for now. I like the dark version, so, you know, it's kind of what it is. So yeah, you can switch the right and left hand interface to work for you as you're a left-hander person. Thanks, Robin. Okay, so, I'll answer that. I'll answer your questions about the screens and stuff here in a few minutes. Let me see if I can get this one done for Shannon real quick. So, so this is for wreaths. So the other day I did a Procreate brush review on shapes, okay? Now, the one I think I did, I have a couple in here because is it Shapey Inky Pixels? I don't remember which one this is. So you can come in here and use some of the shape tools to get you started. However, and I have not done, this review is coming out in a couple of weeks, is an illustration one where she does have a circle brush. But I'm going to show you what you can do. If you come into the brushes, why is my brush not? No, I'm not connected. Gosh darn it. I hope I didn't run out. That would suck. Wait, how do I do the... I thought maybe... Hold on. I have another brush, another pen. I got two. Let me see if I can sync it. I'm not connecting. Hold on. I hit the change my interface and then everything changed, didn't it? Sorry, guys. Also, this feels so weird without the grip on it. So, isn't that? So it's not connected. Hold on. I'm sorry. Why am I Bluetooth? Yes, I want to pair. Why is it not paired? Oh my god. So embarrassing, especially since we're live. So So it says, well, hold on. Okay, it says it's paired. Everything's like it's supposed to be. That is so bizarre. Did you guys see that? Yeah, my Bluetooth is on. Bluetooth on. Apple Pencil connected. Hold on, I have an idea. Let's close out of Procreate and go back in. See if that fixes. But the funny thing is like none of my Apple Pencils are working. Holy cow. That is so weird. And it happened when I changed my interface. I don't think I hit anything else. My opacity is up. Okay, let me answer your questions while you're doing this. Your does that all the time. So what the heck is that about? Oh my gosh, what can I do to preserve battery while using Procreate? While using the Bluetooth feature and the Procreate app, my iPad. Like how quickly? Because I've had mine for a while and it hasn't died. You know, this is the first like real weird thing I think I've had. So let's forget this device. I haven't really had too many issues with it. Hold on. I shut down Bluetooth. Jeez. When did you guys know I'd have this happen? Yes, here. Connected. You knew it. That's what I just did, and it didn't do it. It wouldn't take it. It didn't it worked, and it says it's connected. That is so bizarre. Maybe I do need to restart the iPad. What can we talk about while this is happening? What if fumble for the first one? Your AirPods have been doing that wrong too. Yeah, this is weird. I'm gonna reboot real quick. Sorry guys. We're just gonna have to make it happen while I do this. Yeah, I know. I've not really had it do that before. That's so bizarre. So bizarre that just happened because it was working and it was fine, wasn't it? It was totally fine. So, let me just take this off of here. I'm making sure. Maybe my little tip wasn't on. Maybe I hit that in the preferences, Morgan. That might be what I did when I was changing out the light interface. Duh. That could be what I did. Ghost in the machines. Chat won't work on the desktop. That's so bizarre. Yeah, it's so weird, isn't it? We're gonna let it load back up. Yeah. Thank you, Raid for Hire. I'm glad you liked it. I love teaching. I'm very passionate about teaching because to me it's very, I don't know, it's fulfilling. I like that. The light drains, you know what, I bet it does because you know what they say, light, the light when you have, oh, for the love of, what is holding, okay. So, right, where did you see that? Hold on. There's a preference under advanced gesture control where you can see if Apple Pencil is selected as the tool. Advanced gesture. Obviously can't do that. Apple Pencil, selected tool. I don't know. Maybe because I have the update pending, you're probably right. This is weird. This is so weird. I mean, everything was fine and then it wasn't. Especially when both pencils won't work. I'm just looking at everything here. Yay. Okay. I don't know what just happened, but something happened and then it worked. I don't know. All right. So, as I was saying, so let's go back to the wreaths again. How many people did I lose during that one? I'm sure people will complain because that's YouTube for you. All right, so if you come in here to YouTube and you come in here to airbrush, and if you go to the soft brush right here, and you bring it up kind of high, you can, well, let's do soft. Let's do hard. And you stamp one time, you'll get a circle. Okay, this is a long way to get to this. So you can now reduce the opacity down on that circle and use it as a guide. So somebody was saying they were having problems with drawing wreaths and that sort of thing. Everybody's like, "Yay, we did it!" Yeah, that's how live works for you. That never happens when I'm filming though, just when I'm doing live. All right, so sneak peek. This is, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is a sneak peek at new brushes I'm working on. And I have really just digging this up a little bit. Okay, so I have, let me make this smaller. For drawing wreaths, I will draw a circle like that with either the airbrush tool, or now there are shape tools you can use. And then I will come in and just use that as my guide to start drawing like the laurels and of the wreath around things. And that's what I will use. And doing something like that allows me to, you know, kind of like give my lettering something a little prettier to work with. Oops. So that's one way you could do that. And then you just go all the way around and create your wreath like that. And then if you wanted to do more like circle lines, I have seen people do this. Let's do a new layer. They'll come in and they'll just do like this, give it just something a little more fun. So I'll just use my pencil like this and just go around and around and around. And then you can do some kind of, you know, funny, you know, phrase inside, something like that. So that's that. All right, let me see. I think I may have missed a few things here. Hold on. Everybody's got, here, do this. Oh, so glad we got that right. But Shannon, I wonder if that light interface does drain a battery, because they always say the brightness of the screen is definitely something that can screw that up too, so that's true. Oh yeah, Lionel cut your circles with an eraser. That's another one. That would be awesome. All right, so let me just go through. I have a couple more things that people had posted in the Facebook group with the hashtag that I want to cover before I go through some of your guys' questions on here. Okay, so I had somebody ask me to do the more tricky double letters, and I did this in the Facebook group, but I will do it here again because I think it's worth just kind of watching. Let me stamp my grid in here, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to use the Durango brush here. And she was having problems with things like E together, and O and P and B, like double letters like that. So let's just write out a couple things like sleep, like the word sleep. So I'm going to just start it out. And the one thing I mentioned is, notice how I start and stop? That's how you're going to get those double letters to work better together, because you're taking the time to start and stop and pick up your pen or your pencil instead of trying to go like this. You know, you're just, I mean, an E in calligraphy and script is more written like a print E as opposed to this, and so you want to do it in phases. And just take your time writing a little bit at a time. So that's sleep. So that way with the double E. And we have a double O, so pool. Let's do the word pool. So P, I'm connecting them like this. And then she has 2 P. So like happy. So like that. And as you get better with doing it more traditionally, you can play around with how you want to write things and make them different ways like that. So we have BB. Let's do BB. So BB would be like, what's our word with BB? The 2 B's. Bubbly? Right. It's weird how sometimes I can't think of. Oh, I got rid of my grid. Sorry, my bad. Should have locked it. Oh, now I'm crooked. Bubble, bubble, bubbly, and little. Okay, let's do it. Let's do bubble. Bubble. Say that real fast. Bubble. All right, so let's do. Well, that's crappy. Don't you guys love doing this? Because if you hate something, you just hit undo. You didn't waste a lot of paper. Okay, so if I'm going to make the B like this one, now I'll come up here, bring it down, and around. Down, and around. L, and then the E. Just like that. And then we have GG, which is what we call my grandmother for my nephew. GG. Let's do, what's the double G word? Boggy? Soggy? Let's do soggy. Speaking of soggy, how many people watch The Real Housewives of New Jersey? I laugh because they called her soggy. Ziggy soggy. No. I'm admitting I watched that crap. So soggy. So if you're having trouble, just pick up the letters a little bit at a time. Okay. And then, okay, I think you said little, so let's try little. It's another one. So you're forming a T and you're coming up. You're just like letting go. Just let it go. And I always double cross my T's. I don't ever do 2 across there. Yeah, if you want the grids to be darker, you can just duplicate them a couple times. You can do that and then merge them and do that if you'd like. I made them light because it's just one less step I have to go and reduce opacity. That's the only reason why. Giggle. Okay, let's write the word giggle. Something like that. Giggle. Can I write gypsy? Yeah. And the other thing that I like, and I think I talked about this in Facebook groups, is a lot of times when I'm writing, I'm moving a lot. You know, that's just me. Some people can write with the paper perfectly straight. I can't do that. I'm a big fan of the whole rules are meant to be broken. Gypsy. Gypsy. Revan, right? I didn't want to watch it anyway. Okay. Okay, so V's and R's, I think somebody had mentioned like love, like I don't know how else. It's better when you guys give me some words you want me to write, and I'll write them out for you. Let's do that. Yeah, if you want to make this, it's more entertaining. Well, sometimes that's entertaining, but it's a little depressing too. All right, so if I just duplicate these, the grids, see how they get darker? Can you see that on your screen? I don't know if you can. You can do that and then just merge them all together, and then you have a darker grid if you like to do that. Like I said, it just saves me one more step from having to reduce the opacity. That's the only reason why I liked them a little bit later. Okay, so, all right, so let's look at like love, like the word love. We'll do that one. So Durango, I have like Durango in here like 5 times. Don't ask. Just like that. And then, so with a V, like I like to do this unless I wish I had an example of a word where it doesn't work well next to something. Sometimes it just doesn't work very well when you're trying to go into another letter. And so I have to, be more careful with just coming up and stopping at the X height, bringing it down a little, and then do my E like that. That's not very clean, but you kind of get what I'm saying. So not every letter works well with that. So same with the W. I like to write my lowercase w's, with, I did not connect that very well, but you get the idea. But again, sometimes that does not work well next to something else, and I have to make that kind of adjustment there. Amy says voice. So if I wrote voice, sometimes I like my V to be just like that instead of like starting like that. So if you saw what I did there, see, here's my X height, and then there's the next line. I'm almost kind of like bring it right to the center when I'm coming down. And then I'm just going to go over it and bring it like that. Yeah, VI. VI is another one. Because you're going to kind of have to go like this, right? It just doesn't work. So that's another one where you kind of have to maybe go just like this, like vice. It might feel better, more flow better that way. So let's do a couple more, and then I'm going to pull up the ones where people wanted me to pull up their images. Okay, so ours, so like, yes. So with the capital R, and I showed this in my Facebook one too, where I will come up, and I'm on the wrong layer. Sorry. I will come up like this, bring it down, and then I start almost down here to form it, and then this is what I do. I turn it, and then I make my little line down like that. Does that make sense? That's what I do. I do it with K's as well. I will come in, and I will bring my K, and then I will come like this. That's not the prettiest one, but and then just bring it around like that. That's how I form them and how they work best for me. So certainly, maybe try that and see if that helps you out for that. You were born with an R. That's like H. I'm not good with H either. So yeah, so try that. Try rotating when you're having some problems with some of your letters, okay? That might help. Do WI or VI, so like wish maybe? Let's do wish. Okay, nice. Do this. So wish, and then like vice, you could just bring it down like that. Okay, so before I go into some of these other ones, let me pull up some of everybody else's work. People wanted me to bring in their work. I had a couple of people who wanted me to do that, so I just threw them on Dropbox. So let me find it real quick. So this one's from Sierra Nicole, and it's beautiful. So Sierra Nicole asked me to look at hers and kind of review this. And I really don't have a ton to say to her because I think she does a very, very good job with her lettering. You can tell she's got a lot of skills. She's really got a good amount of the bounce going here. And another thing I wanted to mention to you guys is like connecting the V and the E. Sometimes bounce coming in is going to help you connect those a little bit better, okay? That's definitely something to work with there. Now, I wish I could find something that I would say do differently, but I can't because it's so pretty. She's done such a pretty job on this. The biggest thing though, when you are doing things like invitations and that sort of thing, is making sure that it's readable. And she did a nice job by doing this part in a print, and then the directions in print. So if you are starting to add a few things like this, to make sure that there are things like that are very easily readable, especially when things start getting really long, it's time to just go into print and do that. So Sarah, I really don't have much critique for you. Yeah, she's done a very nice job. So with something like this, when you're starting out, she probably started out with save the date first. That was like the first thing she did, and then worked everything in with it, and it worked pretty well. I probably would have moved like maybe the information to the back of the postcard as opposed to on the front because there are flowers and stuff, but it still works, I think, personally. So Sarah, I really don't have much to say except that you've done a really nice job. Everything is really nicely done. And I like how she made the S come into the V here. This is another fun way to kind of, bounce and connect letters and that sort of thing. And you start doing more of this when you refine, which is my motto, layer, 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 do a new layer, do a new layer, do a new layer, that kind of thing all the time. I think you find that it gets, your work gets better that way. All right, so let's look at the next one. I wish I had more. I think a lot of people struggle with composition, Robin, and I have some ideas to help you guys do that. So let me work on a few more things and we'll get there. We'll make that work. So let's look at Shannon. So Shannon Glasscock's word here. Shannon, are you here? There's Shannon Zuklik. Is that how I say that, Shannon? No, you're here, but I'm not sure if the other Shannon is here. Yeah, not everything is perfect, guys. I think that's the thing. When you see somebody lettering on, hey Shannon, so when you see somebody lettering on like Instagram, they've probably practiced it 5 or 10 times. So just, don't worry and don't let those people make you feel inferior to what you're doing. Okay, just don't. I say have fun and just practice until you get to where you want to be. All right, so this is Shannon's. So let's take a look at this. So I think lettering wise, you've done a pretty good job here. My only suggestion would be maybe composition wise. Low and limbo you've done in print, and so I probably would make those in different colors to make them stand out a little bit more. Or what I might have done is, and this isn't going to be perfect, but this is just kind of like a note here. So you could do like the only. So maybe you did the only here. I'm going to do this fast. And then maybe time, and I would do maybe set, and then the, and bar. And then I would have done low is maybe on its own line. Okay. And then do is for, and then do limbo maybe here. Composition wise, I think it would read a little bit nicer if these had a little more of like their own line and they had a little bit more emphasis on them. So that would be the one thing I would say about composition wise. But I like how you put the emphasis on the 2 words by making them print. So certainly keep going with that, keep working with that. I think that works out pretty well. So let's look at your letters. Boy, you're brave. I hate writing the letter I. That's another one. That's one of my letters where I would rather just go I. And so I see where you're trying to start getting bounce going. Up here we don't have any bounce, but here we have some bounce going. So if you're going to do bounce, let's try to do it throughout the whole thing and try to work that in a little bit more. But other than that, your letter formations are pretty nice. I would be a little bit more cognizant maybe here. So if you're coming up, go thinner, you know, a little bit thinner so that there's more of a difference between this stroke and this stroke. But I think you're well on your way. You're definitely well on your way. Yeah, bounce is hard for a lot of people. I think eventually it just snaps. You get it. Not snaps, that's probably not the right word for it. But you know what I mean? You finally just kind of connects with you. So I would just play with my composition a little bit more. Don't be afraid to just refine, like layers after layers after layers. That's what's going to get you somewhere. I'll do one here at the end. I got time. We'll do another. Well, I'll do a little quote for you guys at the end here because I like doing that for you guys. Bounce is hard, Gail. It is. It really is. I think it just takes time. And I will say this. Bounce is easier with less words. The more you have to fill up that screen, the tougher it is hard to do. How do you decide the best layout to use? When you mean like composition, is that what you mean, Amy? Amy, you said that in there. That is definitely something that it takes some time. You have to really build into that. Let me do one more of these and then I'll show you another thing. So there's another file here. And this is by Greer Sutter Deenan. What a name. I love that, Greer. And okay, whoops, I just stretched it. There we go. She has a really cool style, I think. And I hate being like, do all of the E's this way, do all the E's that way, because that's your style. So I wouldn't change that because that's who you are. I like how you do a different color because she did black. You know, I like how she did these E's differently throughout. I think that's pretty cool. I think this one works for her because it's a long quote, right? It's really long. But I see that, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like you probably struggle with the lowercase E's too. So go for it and change them to the capitals if you want to, because they're not real, like they don't really kind of flow as much, maybe is what I'm trying to say. So I would probably decide that's what I hate doing, and so all of them are going to be capital E's, or play with them or something like that till you get them to where you want. Let's see if I see anything else. I like how she does this where she's connecting the two together. That's kind of a neat style. I don't really have much more advice other than maybe like some of these. So some of these feel like they're more squished, like they're kind of squished together a little bit more. So maybe kind of come in and make your, A a little more, the bowl of the A a little bit more fatter. Is that the right word I think I'm trying to say? So don't be afraid to do that, but your style is really cute. This is a really cute style. And hello, that ampersand. Does anybody just love type? I love type. It's like, I love ampersands. But you're pretty well on your way. I think for me, maybe it's just a little bit more slow down a little bit and see if you can get some of those letters to form a little bit better for you. And you feel like you have a little more control over the letters you're forming it. But really cute, super cute. Okay, so those are only 3 people who sent me their stuff today. It's not that bad, guys. It's fun. Okay? You're welcome to make sure next month, give me your quotes to look at. I'm cool with it. It's fun. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to hurt, I promise. All right, so let me just see if I got any more questions in here before I do a lettering quote. If I missed you and you have a question, will you go ahead and type it in there? And then if nobody has any more questions or anything like that, I'll go into lettering. Good, Shelby. I'm glad. Before we do that, and you're asking questions or whatever, I do want to say, last week before, what was it? I did a Procreate brush review for Maximus. I don't know if you saw that. It was just one brush. And he reached out to me and, holy crap, it did it again. I'm probably out of juice. You guys, I'm telling you. Nope, I got juice. I don't know what's happening, but it's really irritating me. I probably need to do the update. I have been putting it off. I hate doing updates. Now, like, nothing is, not even my finger is working inappropriate. Yep, crap. There we go. I'm good. Yeah, Jasmine, go ahead and join the group. It's totally fine. You're more than welcome to. More than welcome to. And you don't, I mean, if you're a traditional letterer, it's fine. It's totally fine to do it. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. Yeah, so Max sent me an updated version of the brush because I think the brush that I got from the Creative Market was not good, and it's really kind of cool. It's really just, look at that. Whew, how freaking cool is that? I really wanted a fun, like, painting sign looking brush. Do you guys see that? So he sent me an updated version, and I wanted you all to see it, especially since I'm posting on here. I wanted you guys to see that you know, it's like, yay, good to go. So I'll do an updated video on that and point to his so everybody knows that, hey, there's a better version of this over here. But I'm so glad he reached out to me to give me something that's actually working. So it sounds like there was something kind of wrong with that. I don't know. I love this brush. I think it's kind of cool. I'm really into textured brushes lately. So it's okay. So in the Procreate brush reviews that I did, I mean, it was last week or something like that. I can't remember. It was the one by, not Mex, it's by Maximus, I believe it was. His name is Max. And it was the Beyond brush. And it was only one brush. And I was like, I can't get this to work. What am I doing wrong? It's that brush. So if you look for that video, you'll see the link to it through there. And he should have updated the file because he sent me an email. Was like, oh my God, I can't believe this did this. And so I was really happy he reached out. I don't ever want to, like, doing the Procreate brushes, I try to be as nice as I can. But then when you buy something and it just doesn't work, you're just like, So I really wanted, I don't know, I just wanted, I like this because you guys will see next week I'm doing the tutorial on, let me see if I have it in here. On this, let me print up my, I'm doing this tutorial next week. I think it's next week. And having those kind of like cool painterly looking brushes really look good for this tutorial. So that's it. That's all I'm going to share. That's all I'm going to show you. All right, so. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do a lettering quote. Stick around if you'd like. So typically what I do when I'm doing a quote is I go into the sketching brushes and I use like the 6B pencil. Right? Well, and there's why I didn't want anybody. So Right for Hire said, you know, your videos are more believable and honest this way. A lot of beauty bloggers get stuff for free. Okay, they get a lot. My head is cut off in this. I have to reset my screen next time. Anyway, they get stuff for free, and that was one of the things I was like, I don't want anybody emailing me and saying, if I give you my brushes, will you review? Because then I'll feel like obligated to like give them a really good review. And so far they've been pretty good. So I wanted it to be more, let me buy them myself, make the decision myself, give my opinion on it. And I've had like 3 or 4 reach out and be like, thank you, that was really nice of you, you know, and their sales have gone up on some of them. So they've thanked me for that. So, and that's why I do the affiliate link through Creative Market. Just helps me pay for that all the time. All right, let's do a quote. What's today's quote? Because I'm so behind on quotes. You guys will probably tell me before I pull it up here. Today's quote is, today is my new favorite day. Okay, let's letter that. Okay, good, I'm glad. Maybe it's because I have like this like green, oh wait, no, I'm not. There we go. I'm not a tech newbie. Okay, so today is my new favorite day. Hey, spell it the way you want to spell it. So the 6B pencil is my go-to sketching kind of out things until I can kind of get where I want to go. So this is my process. I have not done this quote yet. So looking at it, I need to think about like where I want to place things. And so with the pencil brush, I tend to be a little bit more, I don't know, today. And then I'm going to do layers because then I can move things around if I need to. Okay, so I don't like that. So I might take that and be like, okay, I'm gonna go here. And I know it's touching. I can fix it later. Is my new, and I may still not like that there. New, and then I might write favorite on a new layer just to. Sometimes I do it all in one layer and then I just select things and move stuff around until I like it and then I'll rewrite it. But sometimes I'll just do a layer for each line because that's kind of easier for me. So let's do favorite. Okay, nope. So I'm thinking I might want to do so F is another letter that I tend to go capital with, like a print with. Okay, I know I'm going to have to fix favor. What did I just do there? Save. Maybe like that. Okay. And then I might put day. And so maybe something like that. And then what I would do then is I would merge them. Too much touching. Well, that's the thing. So it's okay as you're sketching out and everything is touching. And then now we can look at it and go, okay, what can I do different? So I can reduce the opacity of that and make a new layer on top of it and come in and say, okay, because I know new is here, right? And I know I need to try to make that Y not touch. So what I could do is just I could play with it and come around like this. So it fills up that space. So that would be something I could do there. And then I can go ahead and write in today. And some of these go a lot. It took me a whole lot longer to do than this. So maybe something like that could be that. And I know this is kind of awkward right here where the favorite part is. Like I have like this empty space here, right? So here's what I would probably do here. I could probably make my M up higher, bring my Y so that it fills in up underneath the M a little bit more. That's a way to be kind of more bouncy with it. And then favorite could come in. And then I could actually make my V like I like to make my V. And then bring, see how I hate doing that? I might do like that. That is really weird. You have a Google account, obviously. That's so weird. That's really bizarre. I need to figure out why. I might Google that later and figure out what's going on. Okay, day. So, okay. So now I can delete the bottom one. So everything kind of flows a little bit better. So something that might look really cute with this now is come in and do a sun around it. I don't know if I'll do that tonight, but you know, you could come in and do a sun and give it some kind of composition that way if you like. So that would be, whoops, hello. So that would be my rough sketch. And then I will come in and reduce the opacity. And then I'm going to come in and do the actual lettering on top of it. And I'm going to use a new brush I don't have out yet. It's coming, I promise. It's just one I've been using for a little while now that I really do like. You Google till. Okay, so that is my new. See, I suck at that. I have to turn my pen. There you go. I make it look easy. Okay, so that's why I am a visual person, and so I need to do some more of the brush letters with me videos. I haven't done, you know, much of those, and I need to. I haven't done too many of those lately. I've been doing a lot of tutorials, so I don't like the Y. So I would probably rework this again until I got that Y in today, how I liked it. I don't like it like that. But you see how I did it once, and then I was like, okay, I have this space right here I need to fill in. I need to kind of make this work a little bit better right here. I need to change this up. I need to do that. So it's a process. And sometimes I'll sit there for 30 minutes and I'll go, done, walk away, and then I'll come back to it. So, you know, it's one of those things where you just have to take your time doing it, you know, give yourself a chance to have fun with it. So then I might come in and alpha lock it and then get my airbrush tool, which lately I've been trying to do more color because I can get in a rut with color if I'm not careful. Maybe pick the blue. I'm not on the right airbrush. So kind of bring in a blue and then maybe like this blue. And kind of do something like that. And just give it some color. So that might be what I would do. I didn't do it on the Instagram size, but you guys know what I'm doing, right? But yeah, I probably would redo that layer because I don't like the Y. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do it because it's bugging me. Now you guys get to see how I really am. So I probably would just come in. I think I might bring my D up a little more like this. And then I might bring that E down. It probably is going to flow a little bit better like that. What do you think? And trust me, there are sometimes I do a quote and I'm like, that's ugly. And I don't save it. I don't save it at all. That's better. I like that way better. Anyway, that's what it is. My palettes. Oh, okay. So yeah, I've cleaned them up finally. These were ones I had just put up here that I was playing with recently, but I added these pastels in the hustle. So when I do tutorials now, I'm going to start doing color palettes for them and putting them up in the Facebook group for you guys to download if you want to get them. So this is the Hustle one that'll be coming out Thursday, I think. Next Thursday. Not this, no, is it this Thursday? Might be this Thursday. I need to put it up. Yeah, and so I just have created them, and then this one down here came with that neon brush pack that I just had up today reviewed. So that one's the one that came with that. So yeah, I like to, my color palettes used to be all over the place, and then I finally just organized them. Could I do a little E? Yes, I can. Could you? So Erin, you want me to do an E, a little E in here, or do you want me to do it with biggies? Not biggies smalls, but you know, biggies. Yeah, I hate that. Okay, how do you delete a color swatch palette? Okay, you have to come into, okay, for one, you can delete a whole palette from here, or if you want to delete a single. Okay, you want to delete a single. So there's sometimes you can click on them once at a time to do it, but you usually have to go to value and then click on one and then hit delete. I can only do it in the value. I can't do it in the palettes. So I can't click on it once and do it. I have to go into the value. So I have to make sure that that palette is the one. So like say I want it from one of the purples. I make sure I select purple. What the heck? I can bring it in here. Wait, how come my palette doesn't move into there? Does anybody know why? I'm not sure why my color palette's not moving into here. That's really bizarre for a second. Oh my gosh, I'm just adding color palettes. I think I have to set it as default. Set it as default. Yeah, set it as default. Sorry. Then you come into value, press and hold, and hit delete. And then it'll delete from your palette. Does that make sense? I know, I accidentally add them all the time. All the time. You're just messing with me. I know. I hate these. I hate these. I don't like them. I don't like them. So yeah, I'm a capital E person. But that's why it's really important to really understand how to make everything before you start changing up how you're doing your letters, I think. So somebody else was asking, I think, about screen. So I recorded a video that's coming up Monday. That's what's on my iPad and what's in my Procreate kind of app or video. And I know earlier this week or last week or yesterday or someday, it's running together, somebody asked in the Facebook group about the size of your iPad Pro, like the capacity, what it holds, and how you know, honestly, you're not going to use a lot. I use it all the time, and I've maybe used about 50-something gigs. And that's because I do have a lot of stuff in my Procreate because they are tutorials or things that I haven't really finished yet or that I need to get moved over. And that's in my brushes that take up some space. So I don't use a lot. You're probably fine with a smaller one. If you're going to be doing 4K video editing and that sort of thing, then I would say go bigger. But for most of us, we don't need anything like that. No, I don't use a screen protector. I've had it for a year and it's gone in my purse just like this before. I have not had any problems. And part of the reason I didn't want to get one is because I don't know how my studio lights are going to reflect upon a textured screen. Some people find it writes better, but I haven't needed it. So yeah, if you have a lot of high-res textures, but now yeah, you're right. And I think that by keeping them hosted on Dropbox helps as opposed to trying to download everything onto your iPad, or Google Drive or iCloud is going to help you for the most part. I don't use a ton of textures in my work, but I do use photographs, and that is definitely one of those things. Okay. Yeah, so I've heard that too about the text, like the changing the colors is kind of, and plus if you have a retina screen, like doesn't it kind of just defeat the purpose of having a retina screen? I don't know. I just don't feel like I need it. I don't feel like I need to have one. But I have had my iPad Pro for over a year, and if something were to happen to it, I'm probably at a place where I wouldn't be so sad if I had to buy a new one. But I know somebody was talking about battery life. See, like I haven't had my battery sucked down too much. So it wasn't 100% when I started, but it's not down too far. So I don't know, unless your screen is really bright. So if you go into settings and display and brightness, you know, play with your display, your brightness here, because that's going to certainly change how much battery is going to be sucked down. So definitely. Did I draw the little mouse on my screen? Did I draw that little mouse? I mean, in Procreate? Okay, Aaron, which mouse? Which thing? Show me. Is it in here? Like this little thing right here? Yeah, I would probably, if you're only charging up to about 82%, and it's 2 years old, I think it's Apple screwing with us. Like my phone, I refuse, I paid it off, I refuse to buy a new one, and my battery sucks. Yeah, I think that's just Apple for you. After 2 years, you're screwed pretty much with it. It's just, I don't understand it. I mean, I understand it. They're trying to get you to spend your money. So it was on my Procreate screen. Okay. Is it this little guy right here? This one? That's actually Lola. That's my Chihuahua. Morgan, for your phone or for your iPad? I'll show you guys Lola if I can get her. Lola. Come here, baby. Come here. Ugh. Come here, Peanut. This is Lola. You guys see her? If I can get her to come in here. So this is her. She is my little Peanut. Say hi, Lola. She is my sweetie pie. She has no teeth. She's a little old lady. She's probably about 8 or 9 now, probably 9. And she was rescued from a breeding hoarder. And the people who took her in decided she had to have all of her teeth pulled because her teeth or gums were so bad. And so then she didn't really take to them. And so I adopted her from them. And so she's been with me ever since. Yes, her has. Yes, that's my Peanut. Yes, Miss Lola. And now Miss Daisy May is jealous because she got held, but she didn't. So, yeah, so sometimes I draw Lola, and I draw her in the little vintage clothes and stuff. And then Lola, also, I did this in my other video. I drew Lola as different characters. Morgan, that's good to know. $99. That's good to know. I'm not there yet, but that is good to know. So I drew Lola as different characters. It started out with me drawing her as Walking Dead characters. And so that's her as Negan. And then I drew her as a Real Housewife from the OC. She had her martini and her little orange. And then I drew her as a lot of different Walking Deads. And then I drew her as 11 from Stranger Things. And Corpse Bride. You guys can see that. My screen's getting dirty. Velma from Scooby-Doo. I used to do this a lot. I don't draw as much as I used to, but yeah, that's her. She's more fun to draw than Daisy, but that's what I do. Oh, guys. Well, okay. Any more questions with the course or lettering? I'll try to, maybe after I have a tutorial this Thursday and a tutorial next Thursday. I'm going to try to get back to, well, in the Facebook Lives, I'm going to do the more letter with me so you can watch me letter. I think a lot of you feel like you do better when you see me letter something and how my mind works with it. And you pick up on that because I know I'm a visual learner and I like to see what other people are doing. So if you guys are good with that, I will certainly do that in the future as well. So I will certainly do that. But I'm so glad you guys are here. I kept 33 of you here over. But this should record. Oh, thank you. Yeah, she was fun. I used to do those a lot. I just don't do them as much anymore. So. But if you guys are not in the Facebook group, please join. The link should be in the description of the video, and my other social media is there. Make sure you use the Letterpixels hashtag on Instagram. I'm trying to see. I think what I'm going to start doing in the future, if I can, for February, is start featuring some of you guys in my Insta stories too. So like if you post on the Letterpixels hashtag and I like something, I might share it in my Insta stories. So I'm going to start using that a little bit more. What is Leslie asked, where is the blackest black in color wheel? Okay, so the way to get to it, hello. If you click on the color, you're probably not going to get it in the color wheel perfectly, but if you come into value here, and you can either do the hexadecimal, you could do that, or you can bring the blacks all the way over, and that'll give you a full black, but the hexadecimal should be like 6 zeros. And so 6 zeros is going to be black, black. So that would give you that. And for white, it's going to be 6 letter Fs, or you can bring that over 100% where the B is there, bring it up to 100%. And that can definitely give you the whitest whites, whitest blacks. Because when I come to the discs here and I try to do this, it's not perfect. If I were to come in here and move it and come into value and look, it's not there. You know, it definitely is harder to do. Then I'll see that it's totally off. Go to the circle and double touch near the dark side. So you mean like down here? Yeah, that's true. You can do that, absolutely. If you go to classic, go all the way to the bottom right corner. Yes, another way. You can come all the way down here. Or left corner way. That's a Photoshop thing we all laugh about. Like there's everybody who goes this way, and then there's those few people who go that way. So yeah, those are different ways you can do that. But I'm a hexadecimal person. I'm one of those people who looks at that a lot. I like to make sure the value actually says 00000. That's how I do it. So definitely pick up one of the ways to do it here and see how you like it. Okay. So please, please, please do the February challenge. It'll be so much fun. And I am, like I said, I'm going to start featuring some of you guys in my Insta stories. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, totally cool. Anything else real quick before we go? I know you guys are dying to go see the State of the Union. Is it still on? For those of you in the US. I know I'm not. I don't know if it's still on or not. You're looking forward to the puns? Me too. I'm looking forward to see what you guys' creativity is, because you guys inspire me too. You really do. Whether you think you do or you don't, you do. You really do. All right. Well, I'm so glad you guys had fun and you guys learned a little bit more. You're waiting for Trevor Noah. Oh, I like him too. You're welcome. You guys are so welcome. Connie, Robin, thank you. Right Brain for Hire. Right Brain for Hire, what's your real name in the Facebook group? I feel like I know you. Shannon, Haiti. Heidi. Hi, Heidi. Now I know. Leslie, thank you. So again, these are not like totally planned out. It's just kind of like, let's see where this takes us. I hope you guys like it. So these are going to be the last Tuesdays of the month for now. And then every Tuesday in the Facebook group, I'm doing the live after lunch kind of thing. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you. Morgan, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. I will catch you guys on the flip side. All right, so now I gotta figure out how to turn all this off. Oh, it's Haiti. It's Heidi. Oh, really? That's a cool way to write it. I like it. And we have the same initials. Heidi M. Holly M. Danielle, I certainly will. Hopefully she has that baby very easily. Hopefully. I'll share a picture in the group with you guys. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. Hopefully this all recorded and stayed on. And yeah. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.